How's the weather over there?
It's beautiful by day and cool by night. So we've been in like the low 70s, high 60s, and during the day. And I want to say we're probably in the 40s in the
Oh, that's
at
pretty.
night
Yeah, it's
already.
pretty chilly.
Yeah, it is. And the leaves are starting to turn, which is so oh, I
She's so
just
cute.
love that. When the leaves begin to turn, it like takes my breath away.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah,
does for me too. I often say that autumn is God's birthday present to me.
Yeah, I
yes.
love the season too because the weather is so nice, pleasant.
Mhm.
But a
Yeah.
lot of people get so depressed during this time too. Less,
Yeah.
late daytime hours.
Yeah.
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 Well, they all need to get my moon. They need to get a moonlight like I
Yeah.
have.
The light. I'm really gonna look into that.
And then you won't be depressed because you'll turn that on and it'll make you smile.
Well, you know what? If I definitely need a sun lamp in through
Yeah.
the winter,
Yeah.
like where Damaris is at and up in Michigan, definitely.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, because by February, talk about cabin fever. If I'm not going to kill myself, I'm going to kill
Oh.
somebody else.
The other thing that really helps a lot is Himalayan salt lights. I find
Yeah.
that keeping those on really helps. And I keep them. Here's a secret: you don't want them to weep. You keep them on all the time. Yes, that means you're going to have to replace light bulbs. First day, new tongue. Yes, it means you're going to have to replace light bulbs. Yes, but I'll tell you, it's so super worth it. I love my Himalayan salt lights. And then the other secret: turn on tea light candles
Ooh.
in your house at dusk.
Oh, that sounds so ambient and
It
nice.
is. It's wicked
Romantic
Yeah.
even.
sexy.
Very,
Now,
very cool.
you can be sexy with yourself, people. You don't need to be sexy with
Absolutely.
others.
I
And
think
you,
the first intimacy
Hello.
is with the self,
there
right?
you go. Hey, I did post an awesome article, and like some of these guys are responding back to my article, like thinking I'm leaving my husband. I'm not, FYI. It's this article, and I thought it was a great topic of conversation for people, where it is a proven they're proving that it's healthier for women not to be married or have children. Talk amongst yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
I
too late
saw
for that.
something just recently too that was something like along the lines of women are like finally just like we're done raising adult children and we're just walking away.
Oh yeah.
I look around and it's like of the people that I know,
Mhm.
there's more than a handful of my girlfriends that are in the same situation right now where they're just like, I'm done. I'm just done. You know, if he's unwilling to grow with me, then, he can die elsewhere.
Yeah.
Sorry if that sounds
I agree.
harsh.
No.
But, that's kind of the attitude. We're all going,
Yep.
look,
Yep.
this is not what I was built for.
Nope.
This is what you tricked me into, and I'm done.
Yeah.
Anyways, Damaris, how's New York this week? Oh wait, you were traveling, weren't you?
Yes.
I was celebrating my birthday, George's birthday, my husband, and I also was celebrating the book. We became Amazon bestseller because we sold a bunch of books on the first night.
That's
It
awesome.
was
Congrats.
really Kinder, but Kindle. Sorry, Kindle.
Tinder? Really?
Yeah, I'm
They do
like, I don't think
books?
we sold it on Tinder.
Kindle. Sorry about that. We
I
were
was gonna
talking
have-
about relationships and women not being married, and maybe that's where that came from.
Maybe that's where Tinder came from.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Kindle. So we became Amazon bestseller. So I'm
That's
so
great.
excited about that. So we were just celebrating, really,
Excellent.
but back to reality now, back to work.
There you
Mhm.
go. There
Yeah.
you go. That's wonderful, though. That's
Gayle,
congratulations. I've been traveling too. I went to heaven this past weekend. I did. My version of heaven is called Las Vegas at the International Hotel or the International Showroom at the Westgate Hotel. where Barry Manilow is the house act, and 3 stellar nights. Oh my gosh. His band was on top of things. His backup singers were brilliant.
Wow.
And of course, he was stellar. I mean, he's never anything less. There, he's human, he has his off nights, but I honestly, when I'm in the audience, he shows up for me. We'll just go with that. Yeah. Always an excellent show. Excellent show. So I want to say hello to all the people that have tuned in with us so far and commented, and hello everybody else out there that hasn't commented yet. Tracy, Julie, Cherie Turner, and Facebook user, thanks so much for joining us. And now I want to introduce you to our first ever honorary crone guest on 3 Crones and the Woo Woo. She's a very dear friend of mine, and I wanted to bring her on to talk about the new musical. Oh, hi, Sue. Sue just showed up too. Hi, Sue. Valerie is, she's a very talented writer, among other things, and she has a new production, a new musical that is in production, I should say, called Me Too. And I wanted her to tell you guys all about it, because as we were just talking about, things have shifted, things have transitioned quite a bit. And there's a whole new, energetic mentality for women right now. And we're standing up and going, I've had enough and I'm not going to take anymore. And Valerie has written a beautiful story that reflects that. So everyone, please help me welcome Miss Valerie Milady. Hi, Valerie. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm really excited to be here with you ladies. I love your show. Love your energy. Your mission and your message. So I'm grateful to be here with you on World Gratitude Day, no less.
Oh my gosh, it is, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I like to practice gratitude every day, but I'm acknowledging that today is the World Gratitude Day.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes it takes that special highlight day in order for us to appreciate and focus on something that really is that important. Absolutely. So Julie says hi. Michelle's here. Yay, guys. Thanks for joining us. All right. So, first I want to do this. I want to acknowledge to everybody listening, if you do happen to hear an echo, it's because Valerie and I are in the same building with just a half wall separating us. So you might get a little bit of overflow. I hope that's not a problem in your understanding what everybody's saying. But I want to open the floor to you, Valerie, for a couple of minutes. Tell us a little bit about the origin of how this story started to be written and where you are in the process right now.
Okay. Oh, there I am. I'm back. Sorry about that, ladies. So it came to me actually in a vision when I was in a guided meditation with live handpan, and I saw the opening number. And I thought, well, this is very bizarre because I don't write musicals. So how I saw this opening number and the inspiration for it, I have no idea. It was like a gift from God almost. Mm-hmm. And it stayed with me. And then that was probably early 2018. And then in 2019, my husband, who works for Barry Manilow, was on Broadway for 3.5 weeks. And so the children and I, we have 4 kids, we came out about halfway through the run. And my oldest daughter and I saw 11 plays and musicals in 2 weeks. And I just started dreaming in musicals. And they weren't musicals that I had seen. They were originals that were just coming to me. And so that really inspired me. And then I met with I used to work in the film industry in New York City back in the 90s. And I met with my old boss, and we talked about our lives and how much has changed. And, I said, I'm trying to find my purpose and my path right now. And I told him some ideas I had for film. And I told him about the musical, about the hashtag #MeToo musical. And he said, Valerie, this is so important. This is so necessary. You need to do this. And so I signed up for a 30-day script writing class with Ken Davenport, and that started the process. And right
Yeah.
now I'm kind of at the final stretch. I'm just inputting everything, getting it really organized and finalized in my final draft program. And I'll be submitting it for grants and to theaters. We did just have a showcase in Vegas last month, and it was very successful. It was a fundraiser, and we performed 5 original songs from the musical. We had wonderful, amazing talent on the stage. We had Ms. Monet, who's a multi-Grammy Award winner. She also performed for Barack Obama for his inaugural in 2012. We had Ann Martinez, who's from Broadway, West End Productions, and we had Eric Jordan Young, who's a monster in Broadway. He's amazing. We had 2 people from Barry Manilow's band. Of course, my husband, who's the composer for the musical, and we had Weil Douglas, who's a drummer for Barry Manilow. So that was very exciting. I felt so much love and support. The way our community showed up. Las Vegas it's a wonderful city. There's so much talent, and yet everybody is humble and loving and giving. And I just feel so grateful and so blessed to have this opportunity. And what's unique about my take on the hashtag #MeToo movement, it kind of goes back to where it originated, which was this idea of community and bringing people together and saying it happened to me too, that you're not alone and that we can work through this together. And so my musical goes back to that original purpose. Instead of Me Too maybe turned into a little bit of pointing fingers and a blame shame game, it feels like. So I really focus on the healing aspect and the moving forward and the offering of support and creating really a safe community for people to communicate, because trauma is something, it's almost like an address. We don't have to continue to live there. We can move. And
I like that. I like that a lot.
Thank you. Once you have the support and you know that you're not alone, it gives you a lot more strength and a lot more confidence in moving forward. And unfortunately, in our culture, oftentimes the victim becomes victimized again. And so there's a lot of people who don't come forward, men and women who've been abused, and children, and they don't come forward. And so I really want to create a different landscape for them that allows for them to come forward, allows for them to be seen and heard and believed and held up, in a way, where they feel that they can move forward.
Nice. Very nice. Beautiful. I love it. And for those of you who may not realize how all of this kind of ties in, back a few years ago when they did the Kaiser Permanente study and they discovered the adverse childhood experiences and how they led to long-term chronic illness, when they separated out the age ranges of the women who were talking about the abuse that they'd suffered, right? The Crone demographic had the largest percentage of women reporting childhood sexual abuse. And they were basically found by the fact that they were in the hospital looking for treatment for long-term illnesses, chronic illnesses. Now, Valerie's not quite a crone. She's still in the mother phase. So she's blessed to be one of the demographic that the statistics came down a little bit, but it's still too damn high. Okay. So the more that we can get out there, the healing aspect that comes along with the Me Too movement and the women of community supporting each other and being able to tell their story and experience a safe space to stand up and go, okay, I've had enough. I'm not taking this anymore. And I'm going to tell my truth and I'm going to walk forward in my strength. I think the better off the world is going to be as a whole. Would you agree?
I agree.
Awesome.
I definitely agree. As a middle-aged woman, I think that I'm going through a midlife awakening. And I think that what happens with that is you really look at yourself and the stories that you tell yourself and the rules and regulations you put on yourself. And then you ask, what is serving me? Is this serving my highest and best? And then you can make an educated choice and say, no, that's an old story. Those were my mother's words, my father's words, my second grade teacher's words, who knows? And you can really find your purpose and your passion and gain a lot of just joy, pure joy, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping to make a difference. If I can help one person to find their truth, then I feel like I'm a huge success. And so far, I've had many people who've come to me and told me how much it's helped them. So I'm really looking forward to where this journey takes me. And I'm also going through where I just trust the universe, you know, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I am enough. There's, you know, whatever is meant to be in my life is going to come to me. So I've shifted where I don't have to work so hard and try so hard. I just have to be and show up.
And you know what? That's the magic of feminine power, right? We are the receivers, right? We are not the penetrators. We are not the ones that force. We are not the ones that go after, right? That's the masculine energy. We're the feminine energy. And the more that we can just allow things to flow to us and receive what there is to receive, right, the better off I think the whole world is, but I know I am as an individual when I get to be in that mode. Thank you so much for joining us today, Valerie. I want to invite you to stay with us. We're going to go through our individual segments. Okay. Feel free to pipe up just like the rest of us do, because the whole point of this show is all of us getting together, sharing our experience and our particular perspectives on life, and having a good laugh with each other. So please stay with us and join in and
thank you so much. And thank you, ladies, for having me on your program today. It means a lot to me to spend this time with you.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Miss Damaris.
Yes.
What are we doing this week?
We're getting ready to dance. So today I want to talk about the new moon in Pisces, the moon in Pisces. And it's so funny we're talking about the feminine because the moon has all to do with our intuitive side, right? You know, everybody's talking about the moon in Pisces today. And what I want to really say is I don't want this to be almost like a phase. The moon stays in one sign for 2.5 days. But this is a portal, the way I see it. This is the portal. When the moon is in Pisces, we can connect more to our intuition. We can literally leave behind the past conditioning because the moon has to do with the past. It has to do with how it responds to the environment, but based off the past, based off of what happened to us. So it's beautiful that Valerie came in and was talking about all of this, because this is really where we find the healing in the moon. The energy of the moon is how we can heal the past from our early conditioning, from our generational, stuff that we inherit, so to speak. Today, the moon being in Pisces is a chance of us to transcend, to really come into ourselves and come into our own, to become that person that we know that we signed up to be. Again, Pisces has to do with all mysticism. It has to do with intuition. It has to do with creativity. It has to do with tapping into those gifts that we all brought in. And so let's do that now. Let's not just let it be for 2.5 days. Let's go into that portal and stay in that portal, stay in that energy of that Pisces, where we can just leave behind the past and become who we are meant to be now. So really the energy is amazing right now. And I just want to also add, we're still in Virgo. Virgo will be, I think tomorrow we go into Libra, but we're still in Virgo. So Pisces is still opposing Virgo. Let's say that Virgo is the physical manifestation of Pisces, right? So Pisces is in the spiritual realm and Virgo would be in the physical realm. So let's really work on transcending our ego, which is the physical realm, and going to the spiritual realm, where we can all come into our gifts, and then we can share those gifts with one another. No envy, no jealousy, just sharing our gifts, just like Gayle was saying, community, coming together, supporting each other. So to me, the moon being in Pisces 2.5 days is not really just 2.5 days. It's really embodying that energy for life, for the rest of our lives. And that's really how I feel. And
I
so
really love that because
I don't
there
wanna,
is no reason that we have to go, by Friday, this is over and done with, and we're
yes,
back to, no, we need to bring it with us. We need to
yes,
keep it alive.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And that's
And
really,
the energy, I was going to say, in the energy, I don't know about you guys, but as soon as we shifted, didn't you feel like you could almost breathe again?
yes,
Yes.
I'm like, I'm almost feeling bubbly like myself. It woke me up in the middle of the night. I was just like,
and it's so amazing.
Oh God,
how Valerie is
Krista,
talking.
extra happy. Oh my goodness.
It's
my
so
goodness.
amazing, this whole thing. It's like, we can't make this up. I had no idea Valerie was going to talk about what she was talking about.
Yeah.
And it just goes so well with the moon, the
my
Pisces
goodness.
and the moon energy.
Mhm.
I also want to talk about the number. Let's not forget that, the vibration of the 8.
Yep.
The 8 is a double 4, right? The 4 has to do with foundation. It has to do with building our own foundation, brick by brick, so that no one can take that away from us. If we build our own, no one can say, I'm firing you, I'm letting you go, because it's ours. And so the number 8 is double work. It's really, because it's a double 4. So it's really working really hard to build your own empire, right? If it's a spiritual gifts that we're really tapping into, let's build them and let's work together to share them. The number 8 is about leadership. It's about being stable, financially stable at that, right? It's also spiritual because, being financially stable, we're here living, we're physical beings having a spirit. We're having a physical body, but we're spiritual beings, right?
Yeah. Spiritual
So,
being having a physical
Physical
experience.
experience.
yes.
Yeah, we
So
got you.
We got you.
we need to build financial stability, right? And so the 8 has all to do with that. And so let's work on that vibration as well, being, building our foundation brick by brick, working together. It really reminds me, I saw a podcast not long ago about this man that's building like cities where people are working in bartering systems, where there's no money involved. It's like you help each other, and they're creating like big cities. I think it's in another country. They're creating big cities like this, where we're just helping each other and being there for each other and building each other up and helping without monetary exchanges. And I think that sometime in the future, that's how it should be, so that there's no ego involved and that we can all help each other. We're going into a fifth dimensional reality. And so the world of opposites is going to end at some point, because in the fifth dimension is all love and compassion. And that's also what Pisces is about. So that's my segment.
Well, thank you very, very much. I love it when it's a number 8 day, because, I've always drawn my 8s as infinity symbols,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And whenever it's an 8 day, it's like, okay, anything, infinity and beyond, right? Anything is possible. And like you said, that double 4, the foundation is like, what's the right word that I'm looking for? It's fortified.
It's stable.
Yeah,
It's stable. If you think of it, 4 corners is a square.
Yeah.
It's stable, a rectangle.
Yes.
And then the 8 is the double 4. So it's super, being super determined to build your
It's like a foundation with rebar.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Not relying on others, like relying on the self. We're full of resources, inner resources, and we need to tap into them.
We have everything that we need.
Yes.
We just have to, we're still working with the old programming of lack, which I was listening to. You were talking about a podcast. I was listening to another one, a podcast, and that was one of the topics. It's like, we still have people who were raised by parents from the Great War, the Depression, World War II. And this is, by the way, this is multinational. This isn't like it's just, one area.
It's global.
It's global, and then a pandemic. And then we've had all these other little things that have happened. And when you get in that, it's like you create this whirling vortex of lack. But really and truly, you need to step out of the vortex, go visit another one. because the other one is full of plenty.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
think
Yeah.
of the cornucopia, right? That's full of plenty.
Yes.
True though. And we have all that wealth of creativity inside us, and the answers are within it. But when we look externally, we're always chasing something. And when we're chasing that carrot, it's like we never reach it. So we have to definitely start building brick by brick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And,
You know what? If there's one piece of advice that I would keep from my godmother, it's that ladies don't chase.
Yes.
Ladies don't chase.
Yes.
Right?
Queen,
Just
right?
stay out of that chasing energy and receive, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, I was gonna say something while you're talking, and now I've gone and forgot. I'm sorry.
You're just having a moment. It's
Yeah,
okay. We all have them.
Oh, fifth dimensional. You were talking about the fifth.
Yes,
We're
let's talk
moving
about
into
that
a
for a
fifth
minute.
dimensional energy and ascension.
Yes.
And I have had such an amazing week of being in 5D consciousness to where I will think of something that I desire and poof, it shows up.
Yep.
It shows up. So I just want to caution everyone, keep your thoughts positive.
Think right?
Because it's magic out there.
Yeah. But definitely we're leaving behind. I mean, it's going to take some time, but we're leaving behind a 3D reality, which is, you know, this where everybody is full of their ego, right? And we're coming into this fifth dimensional reality where it's all about us together as one human race and helping each other and having compassion and assisting one another and sharing and caring. So slowly but surely we're getting there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
well,
great.
Miss Krista, are you ready to go?
I am.
Awesome.
All right. The crystal of the week is Rhodonite. And it's really funny because I kept wanting to call it rhodocite all day. It's all good. I don't know why.
It's like a mix between rhodonite and rhodochrosite.
Yeah, I'm just like, whatever, you know. I'll tell you, it's been quite a fun day, a good day, but fun. You know, my brain and my mouth not wanting to connect, but that has nothing to do with the stone. It just has to do with me. So the crystal of the week, like I said, is rhodonite, and
now, is that like a pinkish color?
It is a pinkish color. So this actually has a story.
Okay.
You guys want to know the story to this piece?
Yes.
It comes from Australia, and it was gifted to me by a woman who I never met before. I went in, we're in Cooper Pedy, which is one of the opal capitals of Australia, in central Australia. And I went in and we were looking at things, and I found a boulder opal, which is mined actually further north up in Queensland. And we're in there, and I'm looking at a variety of different things, and I find my boulder opal, and I go to check out, and she had a couple of other stones there. And one of the things that she had was actually a crustacean matrix of shells that had been opalized that she gave me that were actually mined the date on my birthday in 1970, the year I was born. No joke, right? She says, "This has been waiting for you," and hands it to me. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is really kind of cool, right? And so that's when she tells me the date. And I was like, oh, my God. And she goes, that's your birthday. And I'm like, yeah, it is my birthday.
And she knew. She told you that was your birthday.
She told me. All right. So it's like this. And her son is like standing there like, oh, wow. He's like, can I hire you to help me go find opals? You know, he's like, you're going to help me find opals. I know you will. Sadly, I didn't have time. Although I'll tell you, I might go back and do it.
Yeah, you would have.
I might just do that. However, so it was really funny about this piece, right? She had a couple of other stones, like a piece of howlite, a piece of green jasper, and a couple of others. And they were nice. They were nice pieces. And so I bought those, and she gave them to me for a deal. And then she goes out back and she hands me this. And she's like, this needs to go with you. I'm like, okay. Why? She goes, you're just going to need it. She's like, you're going to be showing it to a lot of people.
Wow.
I love it.
So this is me showing it to a lot of people.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
in any case,
what's the magic in that little rock?
So the magic in the rock. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. I need to read something and then I'll tell you. Okay, so it is about realistic expectations.
Okay.
It is about moving on. So let go of that shit. And it is about harmony.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't it great?
Love it.
It's
Wow.
Oh,
I got goosebumps again.
Again. So I need to read something to you, and then I'll go on to something else. So my friend Adam, who is a fellow Kevin says hello, everybody.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. You know what? I'm down in the kitchen, and so now he's like, I can come and visit. So, but I have to read this. My friend Adam from Down Under, in his Crystal Connections, he writes this quote. All right. Often when you find yourself disappointed with someone, it is because they have not lived up to your expectation. As Osho says, if you love a flower, don't pick it. Because if you pick it up, it dies and ceases to be what you love. So if you love a flower, let it be. Love is not about possession. Love is about appreciation. So Rhodonite resonates those words.
Yes.
And when I ever read that, I was like, I have to read that to everybody, because it really I was playing with this today, and I was looking up different things just because I'm trying to find out different information that I can share with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But when I read that, it was like, that was it in a nutshell. With everything that's been happening, and the fact that our Pisces full moon, which is the energy we're in, falls right in with equinox, because equinox is tomorrow.
Yes.
All right. For those of you who have been asleep, equinox is tomorrow.
And my birthday's Saturday. Just putting that in there.
Yes, I know. I already have that. It's all taken care of.
Oh, doesn't.
I'm on top of this birthday thing. Actually, it's really funny because the three of us, our birthdays are so close together.
So close.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of comical.
Mine's close too.
Oh, yeah. It is.
I'm October 10th. Mine's just
wow.
What's yours, Krista?
I'm October 29th. I mean, I'm a little bit after, but
Yeah, that's right. You're over Scorpios.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say hump, but we're not going into the underwear conversation today.
Yeah, we won't do that. We'll although you said it. Everybody write down what
everyone
color your underwear.
Hashtag underwear. What color's your underwear?
What color's your underwear? All right. So the energy of this rhodocite, though, is about that. It's about the love. It's falling into the opportunity, into the flow. The energy of Pisces, and I'm going to steal a little bit of what Damaris talks about here, is from what I was understanding. I was reading some stuff from Elizabeth Peru. Is that the energy that we're feeling today is the completion of what was started with Pisces new moon back in March. So everything that you were dreaming, wishing for, not necessarily wanting to show up, and if it did, you need to you want to let it go, because right now it's like it's starting everything fresh again. And so that's why.
All right, everybody take a deep breath. Let it go.
But that's why we can feel like we're breathing right now.
Yeah, there's a huge weight lifted.
Yeah, rather than feeling like our head has been held underwater. I don't know, like, when you get that overwhelming feeling where you feel like you're treading water and not winning.
And you can't breathe any deeper than your neck.
Yeah. Yeah. And
it feels like that sometimes.
Yeah, it feels like it stops right there.
Yeah. And we've had a lot of that kind of heavy energy and even the tar-like energy. But with this new Pisces full moon that we're having, it's really, I feel like it's awesome. I feel like it's opened up a lot. And then tomorrow, like I said, it's fall equinox or Mabon, depending upon how you want to refer to it. It's, it's all about a different beginning. So we're going into fall. It's about harvesting. Think of it, we're harvesting everything that we've created.
Reaping.
And reaping what we've sown. Because we sowed it.
Good or bad.
Good or bad. We've already sowed it. And now we're reaping those rewards. Yeah. And so for me, when I'm thinking about this and this crystal of the week being rhodocite, it is about
Rhodonite.
The harmony. Rhodonite. Thank you. Yeah, I told you I've been doing it all day. Rhodonite. I'll write it down. I promise you it's written in multiple
Is it Mercury retrograde coming up next week?
And it is.
We are in pre-shadow.
On the 27th. So communication might be a little,
It is. I'm telling, woo, all crazy here. But it's also a good one for calming. I was referencing another note I had here. And that's what we're doing. And it balances out our yin and yang energy. So think about all that crazy, right? And now we're going in, and then the shadow of Mercury, right? Retrograde. Yeah. We're going to need yin and yang. Oh, and one of the things I read from someone, I don't know who, is that strap yourself in. Anything that can happen during this Mercury retrograde will.
Last time I felt it really, really strongly. It knocked me off my feet.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have time for that.
I actually do fairly well with Mercury retrograde and Friday the 13th. And, I'm a freak of nature that way. But then I know how to manage it and surf it, because there's certain things that you don't do. There's certain things that you expect hiccups with. And there's certain things that Mercury retrograde is really good for, especially like Valerie and me with writing. Going back and editing during Mercury retrograde is the time to do it.
Yep.
Right?
Perfect time.
The problem is dealing with someone who's not aware, because we get we get into that whirlwind with.
Well, a lot of semi-conscious people like to look at Mercury retrograde and go, oh, I can blame that for everything not working. No, my dear, you really shouldn't. It's not empowering at all.
My daughter, who's turning 10 this week, she during Mercury in retrograde, when she was about 2 years old, she put all her clothes on backwards, and she'd switched the shoes on the opposite feet. Mm-hmm. And I would say, okay, that's okay at home, but maybe when we go out in public, we better switch it all back. And she goes, no, Mommy, this is the way it's supposed to be. And then I'd look and I'd say, oh, it's Mercury in retrograde. She knows how to handle it.
Yeah.
Mercury in retrograde is quick, so it might be very intense, but it ends, I believe, like October 17th. It's super quick.
Yeah.
Boom. So we're going to just dive into it, I say.
Yeah.
And it's like riding, you remember, it's like riding a wave. So just remember to ride rather than, relax and ride rather than constrict yourself and be pulled down by the current.
Right. To take that just a second further, I remember being at the Pacific Ocean in California last year, a couple years ago. And my stepdaughter kept trying to walk into the waves, standing up, just walking forward like she was walking down the sidewalk. And it just kept wham, knocking her over down into the, surf. And I finally called her over and I'm like, you got to kind of sneak under the crust. You got to dive into the wave, like fully into the wave. but don't come at it like it's going to hit you. You sneak into it. And she discovered how to do that. And it's like, this is the same thing that we have to do with Mercury retrograde.
You got to ride the wave.
You can't come. Yeah, you got to find the soft point. You got to find the access in, and you'll make it through just fine. But if you come at it with full frontal resistance, you're screwed.
Oh,
you're getting slammed.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. So are we ready to move on to the next one, ladies?
Yes, ma'am. It's up to you now.
All right. Let's do
Put the
this.
bow on it.
Put the bow on it. Oh, let me find me. Hold on. There we go. Okay. What would you do if you knew you could not fail? Really? It's a good question. What would you do? Well, I want to actually start out. It's going to sound like a side trip or a digression, but I want to invite Valerie to tell me about this gorgeous backdrop here behind me. Who made it and so on. So give me a little bit of that backstory, because it's going to feed into what I'm going to talk about today.
So that's my daughter Sophia's artwork, and she is the one who knows how to embrace Mercury in retrograde and put her clothes on backwards and switch her shoes on the opposite feet. And she's a brilliant artist, and we're very lucky to have what we call the Playhouse, which is the house next door to ours that my mother owns for when she comes to visit. And we have an art studio set up, and it has a cement floor. So anytime the kids ask, Mommy, can we go paint? They're welcome to go there, make a mess, just wash your brushes afterwards, and then shut the door, So we feel so blessed and grateful to have that set up. And for myself, I'm an artist as well. So to be able to have all of my equipment just there ready, so I don't have to, I'm going to spend half an hour setting up and then go, oh, shoot, now hurry up and get creative, because you still have another half an hour to break it back down. So it's really nice to have it all set up. And as you can see, Sophia did this, I don't know, years ago at this point. So she's turning.
Do you remember how old she was when she did it?
Well, I think it was right when we got this place. So she was probably about 7.
Wow.
When she did it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So here's what I wanted to say about this, because when a child, right, is exploring their creativity and their art, right, these butterflies are perfect, right? They aren't photographs of butterflies. They're expressions of butterflies, right? So this, I think it's like a 5x8 panel, okay? And it's absolutely gorgeous, right? She didn't go into this worried about whether or not she was going to fail. She went into it to explore her creativity and create something that brought her joy, right? And that's what I want to encourage everyone to take on, especially this week. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? If failure was just not even part of the question, it was just awareness and curiosity and exploration, right? And what's possible, okay? So there's a particular passage from a book that you may have strong feelings about, but just because they grabbed the saying first doesn't mean that it's discardable. And that is, be as little children. Well, what does that mean? That means play. That means look for the opportunities to invite people to play with you. Mm-hmm. Have fun. Be an expression of love and joy. And little kids don't worry about where their next meal is coming from, usually, unless they're in extreme poverty. There are exceptions, absolutely. But mostly, especially here in America, little kids, they've got convenient foods they can pull out of the pantry themselves, right? They don't worry about such things like adults tend to get bogged down in. Right. So this week, when you're looking at all of these things and that little voice of self-doubt comes into your mind, look back to, first of all, what Damaris was talking about. This is an 8-day, right? This week is all about your foundation is fortified. You really have nothing to worry about. You are not going to break through the floor, right? There's no trap door there. That's solid rock with rebar. You got it. You got this. You keep moving forward, right? So know that you can stand in complete safety, complete security, knowing that you can play with protection, right? Like the universe is watching you from a distance, like a good mother or a good nanny, and just going, do that, right? And the same thing with the rhodonite, right? All of those things that Krista said, this, it never fails. This all ties in perfectly together, right?
Yep.
And let me put a shout out there. I don't know if Sue's still with us or not, but Sue, can you put in the chat if you've got some rhodonite in stock that people could reach out to you to get some if they need some? I'm sure you all have your local crystal stores, but we love Sue and we love to support her wherever we can. So if you need some rhodonite, reach out to Sue, see if she's got any. But again, back to center. When you are taking on whatever it is that you have to do to this week, right? Ask yourself, how can I make this as fun as possible? What's possible here? What kind of adventure can this be? And who can come play with me? And just watch how that shows up, because you've got nothing to fear. Your foundation is strong. Your space in the world is taken care of, right? You're protected. Go have a blast and then see what happens, right? It's all going to be good. And if it's not good, keep moving, right? Because you can't fail unless you quit. You really can't. You cannot fail unless you quit. Everything else is just trying a different way. Like you guys have probably all heard this a million times. Thomas Edison found 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb before he found the one that worked, right? He didn't fail at making a light bulb. He kept trying different things until it worked, right? And take on that same adventure, curiosity, exploration, experimentation, play with it. And you know what? I'm going to throw this one in for good measure. Go to the dollar store, get a set of finger paints, and go make your own version of Sophia's garden.
There you go. And if you do it, take a picture and post it. I want to.
Yes, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
I think that'd be great.
That'd be
awesome.
During the shutdown, at one point, I decided I was looking at my children just saying, wow, they're handling this so well. They're so resilient. And I'm still struggling. And we were quite far into this pandemic already. And I still felt like I was struggling and fighting it, not leaning into it and riding the wave. So I decided to look at each one of them and embrace the quality that I really witnessed with them. So with my oldest, she's a wise old soul. Her wisdom and her acceptance of what is was inspiring to me. And with my son, he's got systems in place, and he's very play by the rules kind of a person. And then of course Sophia, we talked about her. She's so good at creativity and going with the flow and being really tapped into her spirit, her soul, her magnificent energy. And then my youngest, she had the enthusiasm of a 4-year-old child. And I was like, oh, Tina, can you please go get this for me? She wouldn't walk there. She would run there. She couldn't wait to go and help me and get the thing, And so I started doing that. And just by playing those roles, I started to really embrace it. And I can't put it down. Like I still have the enthusiasm of a 4-year-old, and she's already 5.
I love it.
You're going to need it.
I love it. You know what? And I got to say that's the magic that you just explained what I saw, because early on in the pandemic, when we were talking on the phone, I was concerned. The weight of the world was on you, and, all of us here are empaths. I believe you are as well, Valerie. So especially early on with all of that confusion and all of that doubt and all of that fear of the unknown that was in the world, right?
Yeah.
You were doing some heavy lifting, transmuting all of that. And I am so grateful that you took that moment and had that epiphany and stepped into taking on the magic of childhood, right? Because it has made all the difference in the world. You look beautiful. You are excited. You are happy. I am very, very happy to see that. Very, very happy. All right, we got a few more minutes left. Actually. Oh, yes, go ahead.
I want to answer the question of the, if we couldn't fail, right?
What would
I
you
would
do?
say that we will fulfill our destiny. If we couldn't fail, we will all fulfill it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
I love
And I
it.
think, and we would be more adventurous, and take those chances
bigger risks.
bigger risks.
Yeah.
And without fear of not having a net, or not having the ability to be like, oh, well, yeah, that was one of those 1,000 times that the light bulb didn't work. And then just moving on. Yeah.
But
But
we have the reading for today.
Yes,
we do.
Card?
Yeah, we almost forgot about that. That's why we're short on time, or like we're ahead of time.
Yeah.
Even with the guest. Let's see here. All right. So the card of the day today. Ooh. 4 of Pentacles.
4
of Pentacles. Yes.
Go,
And let's see.
Right?
Huh?
That we were talking about the double 4s earlier.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So the 4 of Pentacles is all about stable, cautious, protecting resources, boundaries, and saving. Right. Today, be cautious about your health and finances. All right. Remember how important your well-being and long-term goals are. Good advice. Even if you slipped into some unhealthy habits or frivolous spending lately, you've still made some amazing progress and built a solid foundation for success. All right. Today is a great day to get back on track. Yes.
Yes, it is.
These things up.
Nope. You can't make these things up. So for any of you who use Arrow, it's an app on your phone, gives you a card of the day every day. Free plug. But it's a great little app, and I love it. And it's got all kinds of different readings, and you can journal, you can study the cards, you can save your readings and make notes about it. It's very, very helpful with me. But if you would like a real reading with actual cards, you can reach out to pretty much any one of us. I do intuitive tarot readings. Damaris does intuitive tarot readings. Krista does crystal readings. And come to think of it, we have a winner to announce.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, we do.
Winner.
Congratulations to Miss Ada.
Oh, Ada! Yay!
Ada, thank you so much for being a faithful and devoted watcher and sharing out our show. As always, each week, you get your choice of any of us 3 crones to collect your prize from. With me, it's either an intuitive tarot reading or an emotional freedom technique tapping session. With Krista, it's a crystal reading. Yes. And with Damaris, with Damaris, it is either a tarot reading or a numerology reading, and she is a specialist in medical astrology. So whichever you would like, please reach out to us in the comments and let us know. And then whoever it is will send out their scheduling link to set aside some time with you. All right. So now, for those of you who don't know, and I can't imagine who doesn't know by now, you enter into this contest by liking or hearting. Loving is good. I love loving. Commenting and sharing this broadcast out to your world. And please, by all means, let us know that you've shared it in a comment, just to make my job easier. Thank you very much.
Hashtag share.
Hashtag share. That's great.
It makes it simple.
Yeah. And then each week on Friday, we pick someone who has shared it out and made the comment and made the like, and we choose one to win that prize. So it's quite a valuable little thing. So make sure that you take the time to do that. All right. Awesome. Yeah. All right. So what are you up to this week, Krista?
Well, at the moment, what am I doing? I've been pulling cards for our crystal of the week coming up.
Right.
So we are completed now through 2021.
Wow.
So I just did that with two helpers, and our previous
Give them a shout out. What are their names?
Julie Benedetto, she's
Mhm.
here. She's and then Allison Fritz, and they both, believe it or not, are neighbors, but they do watch the show. So yes, thank you. They helped me out this afternoon, and so I'm really, really, really excited. I am also, for those of you, I'm going to start doing what I call forecast readings. For anybody who would like a 12-month forecast reading, I'm going to start booking appointments for that. And for your 2022. So you can start planning that out or getting an idea. So yeah, it takes about 45 minutes to an hour, the reading. And by the end of it, it's probably about 18 to 24 cards by the time it's all done.
Wow, that sounds awesome. I need to get one of those.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Definitely.
It's a lot of fun. So book it, message me, and we'll get it booked.
Fabulous. Damaris, what's on your agenda this week?
Well, so funny. Krista was saying that because I'm working on charts, natal charts. So when people, on their birthdays, it's a new year also. And it's, it's really, really important for everybody to know their natal chart because it has everything there. It's the blueprint. So I'm working on that. I'm working on booking appointments for that for people. Like I said, it's, I always say to people, it's like, we come in a helicopter and we get dropped off in this jungle and we have this, map, which is the way out. And that's the natal chart. And so once you look at your map, you see the way out. And I love it. So that's what I'm working on.
I want one of those appointments.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you what, I feel like I'm lost in a forest of darkness. I'm going.
Yeah, well, looking at the stars is how we find a way out of the chaos. Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't it interesting how actually authentically true that has been? That's exactly how we have found our way historically through life for eons, right?
Yeah.
Look to the stars, see how they shine.
They point us in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Miss Valerie, what's on your agenda for this week coming up?
Well, as you know, I just got back from Europe and I am planning a retreat in Ibiza, September 3rd to the 10th, 2022. It's a transformative retreat. And we are launching our website, I believe, October 1st. We've started our social media. Our company is called Global Soul Retreat, so check us out. I am also putting together my production schedule for the documentary that I'm filming next month. And what else? Oh, celebrating Sophia's birthday on Sunday.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And then I'll be pulling out my computer and opening up Final Draft and inputting and editing and doing all of the stuff that I need to get to completion.
Perfect. Well, this is the perfect time for that. Mercury retrograde. You're doing the editing work. That's perfect.
I believe in divine timing. The more that I embrace it, the more amazing everything shows up in my life and shows me that everything is just in the right time.
That's awesome. Awesome stuff.
Order, in divine order.
Thank you.
What was that, Damaris? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
In divine order.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So this next week coming up on tap for me is I get to go back to Phoenix, sell everything that does not bring me joy, and at a huge estate sale on my birthday. That's how I will be spending my birthday on Saturday, is selling my stuff. And then moving forward into my future. So we will see exactly what that future holds. How does it get better than it is right now? I can't even begin to imagine, and what kind of adventure is this next year going to be for me?
Well, if we go by what your topic was, oh my God.
Yeah,
there you go.
Exactly. So, and of course, we will be working on as well the free challenge that's coming up in Your Life Reimagined, which will be leading into a 6-week offering called Creative Command, where we get everything out of the way that you've been conditioned to place as barriers between you and your best life. You know, that little desire that your creator put in your heart, and you keep telling yourself, oh no, I can't let myself have that. It's just too good. No, we're going to get all of that out of the way. And then inviting you, of course, to a sustainable monthly follow-up group after that. So I'm also in editing process right now. So perfect timing.
I love that word sustainable, Gayle.
Thank you. Yeah, it really is. Have you ever noticed, like, you go into a program and it's transformational and it makes your life change, and as long as you're around those people and in that conversation, then that stays, right? It sticks for a while. And if you move out of that community and out of that conversation, you cannot sustain it yourself. Where two or more are gathered, there I am. There is the bridge between us, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I want to make sure that we take a moment to thank, where'd I go? Oh, our contributors. Thank you to our sponsors and contributors. Sue at Class Act Imports, for one, Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing, Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski, yours truly, Gayle Nicholson with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. And from all of us here at Three Crones and the Woo Woo, and our honorary Woo Woo for the day, Valerie Milady.
Yay. Thank you so much again for having me. I had a blast with you ladies. I always love watching your show, and what an honor it is for me to be here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, Valerie. Awesome. So thank you all for watching. We love you, and have a fantastic week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
I had a WhatsApp call